The reduction algorithm. So whenever we say reduction algorithm, many elements to one element. Say, so given an array of numbers, so either you want to find the product of all the numbers, or sum of all the numbers, or minima, maxima, and so on. So that process is called as reductions. And there was algorithm discussed with respect to the previous example in our previous chapters was with respect to not to consider the consecutive elements and to make the computation efficiency. What was hindering there was the convergence of the divergence due to the if else statement. The second approach was take the elements which are farther, so the extremities. So then make them computation. So because it anyway reduction is associative for that matter, that's with which the assumption with which we carried out the computation as such. So in Martindra is so first element and last element summation, then the second element and last but second element you add up and so on. So what was the advantage that was gained over there was most oftenly say during the iterations you are converging into single wrap or single block and so on. So that's what is happening with respect to reduction only. Now we have a slightly different set of problems that was stated as a parallel prefix sum. So whenever I want to compute, this is a given array of numbers. Every other number is summation of its previous elements for that matter. So whenever I consider this third positions, so it is all the 317. Whenever you add these numbers, this number has arrived. So again, inclusive and exclusive is whether the first element you are making it as 0. So then it is exclusive, or you are considering the first element, it is inclusive of that first number. So 3 plus 0, or so first number is passed as it is. It is not summated. So whenever you look into the expressions, so this expression can be a simple summation or multiplication or whatever you feel, which can be normally utilized in the reduction parameters as such. Fine. This is what covered in the last class as such. So, okay, why do you require that? So I don't want to go sequentially and see if I get the scales or where I have to cut. So sausage which has to be cut 100 sausages, and every puts their demands. Most often resource sharing or resource allocation kind of algorithms require such kind of um, or they have the such kind of requirement as such. So whenever they go about it, so if I have that scale number, so this is where you have to cut the markations of the so marks on which you can cut and how much is remaining is well known whenever you have this prefix scan or scan kind of approaches. So this is one stuff what we want to do as of now, or prefix sums or the parallel patterns which we want to exploit. Otherwise, how it would have been done, it's a sequential. Say you cut one after another with respect to requirement as showcase. Say ಮೊದಲ ಮೂರು cut ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, say then whatever is remaining out of which 5, 2 and so on that was being cut. So in parallel computations, so what you want to do whenever you want to accomplish this, the straightforward approach is it is called the in-place computations. Whenever in-place computation is the output sequence, say if it is 16-bit or what 16 element or 8 element, whatever you can consider. So you are computing for that particular output element. See, whenever I say that y0 x0 is passed as it is, y1 x0 plus x1 is computed, y2 x0 plus x1 plus x2 is computed, so that are being run repeatedly. So it is inefficient computation for that matter. Why it is called as inefficient computations? Because x0 plus x1 was computed earlier in y1. Now for computing y2 also you are doing utilizing the resource repeatedly, so recursive fashion, and hence it is most often called as an inefficient or computationally not efficient, so much efficient problem statement as such. So in sequential element or normal implementation for I is equal to that sequential element computationally efficient. So it takes n cycles of the whatever the number of elements you want to compute. So that's a final element you want to arrive at, and that process normally it is called as a reduction because you are getting that element as such. So you are iterating more oftenly for computing. Whenever you change that I pattern of the y of I, so you have to run more number of lengths. Y of 0 is 0, y of 1 is 1, y of 2 is 2 elements has to be added, or 2 adders and so on. Number of adders are exceeding. So reduction trees prices in n minus 1, n minus 2 and so on. So it's a very inefficient kind of statement or the approach we are following whenever we want to that parallel scan or prefix summation we want to accomplish. So what has happened in iterations? So initially you started with the passing x0 as it is, then all the neighboring elements are added, then 2 apart, then 4 apart that are being added, so that finally after 4 iterations or log n iterations, so if you have n numbers, so after log n iterations, so you have see 8 elements ಇದೆ, say, and hence log n is for somewhere uh, 0 to 3, say whenever we say that. So what is happening is you have 25 is a reduced element, but in between also it is x0, x0 plus x1, this is x0 plus x1 plus x2 and so on, that we have produced. Okay, this is what was required. So you are addressing the problem statement, but is it in an efficient manner as such? Again, whenever you are accomplishing that, because it has given to the parallel algorithms, whenever we are stating that these additions are accomplished across threads, fine. So whenever they are accomplished across threads, so whenever I want to go to the next stride or next iteration for that matter, the previous summation have to be completed, and hence a barrier synchronization is adopted. All the threads secure input operands that can be overwritten by another thread. So because initially whenever we looked into the convolution operations for that matter, most oftenly we state that whatever was stored in the shared memory was not exchangeable between the threads. Okay, so most often either the input element or matrix or the mask or the conversion mask, both were constants, so they were not changing in the runtime. Whereas in this case they are changing the runtime, because you are writing into the in place computation, or the that array or vector whatever by of 0 you are treating is iteratively updated as such. So you want to have the most latest updated data, or the you want to see to it that all the threads are completed whenever before you start accessing for the next iteration. Then you start using synchronization. The code again, section size, I just don't read that, but ultimately section size is whenever you are taking a block size. So this is the computation that can be accommodated, how many threads can be spawned to compute on this particular computation. So that is normally is your section size. Block idx.x dimensions, so because ultimately you want to have a global index, and hence he is going for that block, say 0th block, and then offset whatever it is in that particular block, what is a number as such. So ultimately we get a global indexing for that matter. It is well within the input size, and whenever you are accessing, so first you are just copying the input number as such, and in the strides you are updating, say, synchronous threads. So initially how it is happening is, initially you are updating the immediate neighbors. So next two neighbors apart, or the one neighbor apart, then three neighbor or two neighbor apart, and so on. So basically I just want to showcase the diagram. um, So initially, this is the computation of the how many adders or how many computation that has been showcased. I can grasp with respect to these numbers. And just they have shown one, just to make accommodate that there is no specific meaning for the highlighted and unhighlighted branches. First computation, so first level of iteration or stride one, or whatever you say that. So two elements are added, or the immediate neighbors are added. Then one neighbor apart from, say, two elements after that, say, then, and hence last four apart, eight apart, and so on. So there is a reduction in the number of adders of them finally. So this is overall how many additions have happened. That's what we are stating as inefficient computation, or ultimately I want to write a code for that. So whenever you want to accomplish that, so you want to stride with respect to that. So how many computations have happened? So next is two neighbors apart and four neighbors apart, and that's how you are adding that. So this neighbors apart, so additions happening two neighbors apart and four neighbors apart, or seven neighbors apart, and so on. So it is 16-bit, right? So that is being showcased or stated over there. So stride apart and sync threads, and you want to summate that, so all the previous members are being added. Okay, that's what you wanted to compute. And so overall how many additions has happened in every step, you are doing n-1, n-2, n-4, and this is the number of additions whenever you summate them, or they give a common number for that. So total number of additions that have happened is n into log n minus n minus 1. So because there is a reduction in the computations of the additions as such. So overall you are making so many additions compared to a sequential mechanisms with respect to reductions. So that I use a rough example. There are 20 times in the increase in the additions of the basically it hurts the work efficiency with respect to the resource allocations as such. The numbers he has not shared in the slide, and hence I'm repeating this stuff with respect to the textbook as such. So whenever you are accomplishing this kind of approach, so log n, so again clearly, so this is a code, he just writes it. So I ask you to refer to the textbook codes, and this is what is happening. Say initially the number of elements, say 1632, or this is the number of elements in a given input as such. So if you go for reduction in a sequential manner, so anyway until that number the computation is available. If you state that, so n minus 1 additions, say 15 computations or 15 additions are happened, and so with respect to this parallel approach, n log this is the symbol, and when you substitute the number, so 15 approximately 3 times more or 4 times more adders are required, or the computations are required. Whenever you increase 32, approximately it is 4 times, and so whenever you look into the scaling factors for that matter, for sequential approach, for 1024 number of elements, approximately n minus 1 1023, but it is increasing approximately 9 times. So there is a large inefficiency that is broadcasting as you work with this algorithm and scale up to the large number of elements. To practically state that this kind of approach of the computation of the GPU is required whenever you have a large number of elements. Otherwise, normal C program or simple computation device was sufficient. So and hence it serves as very inefficient, and people started sorting for a better approach. So improving efficiency, then you had approach of the balanced trees. Balanced trees is symmetrical across some mid element as such, and then reverse scan. Say first you want to reduce the element, and then reverse scan, so that in place substitutions or the computations can happen. So with respect to that, one example with respect to 7 elements, what is happening is again the same stuff. You adding the neighbor elements, okay. So then there was one more questions. Double the what is that? Block width in some piece of code. That was stated because whenever we are considering for computation we are considering the number of threads. So these are the threads which are computing right now, but for computation I require more number of elements. So for computing 4 additions, so additions are happening, or these are the threads x1 x3 x5 x7 is what is the threads are computing, or these are the threads are computing. But for performing this addition I require elements, right, operands. So x0 is operand, and hence block width into 2 was again I just don't remember the slide where it was appearing. That was ambiguity was expressed in the previous class as such. Okay, that is clear. This is because the computation resources is what we are considering whenever I am stating block size or section size, and the number of elements is normally double of that, and hence 2 times the block size. So whenever you are computing this, so initially 4 elements, and then log, so it reduces to 2 and finally reduces to 1. What has happened now? X1 has a correct computation, X0 has a correct computation, and X3 has a correct computation, as x5 has a correct computation, whereas x4 is not having a computation, x2 is not having a computation. So x2 has to x0 x1 plus x2. These in place computations are not complete even though reduction is complete. So I have got x0, so some variable x3 and x7 are ready, but there are elements says x2 x5, they are not ready, they are not really accomplishing. So it has to be from x0 to x5 completely, but that is not happening, right? 1 minute. Good, done. So once the reduction okay, block size into 2, so scan array block size into 2 is, that's the reasoning I just wanted to quote from this particular slides or chapter as such. So slide 1, this is iterations, whatever you are going through that, say 4 to 1. That's how it is computed with respect to 7 elements as such. You can extend it to 16 elements, which is again the in the further chapter. It is for 16 elements is computed. So index, the number of elements are well within the block size or 2 into block size. The number of elements you have considered, you have scanned it after you have computed, then you are going for scanning. So scan index minus stride. So stride is 2 elements apart, 4 elements apart. Whenever you are saying that, that is computed over there, and stride increases. So initially it is 1, then 2, 4, 8, and so on. So ultimately, whenever you want to go to the next iteration, so stride is increased. So until then, all the computations with respect to that particular current stride has to be completed. Okay. Once you have done this, so as we have stated, you have computed. So post scan step is basically we say, as we stated, x2 or x5. No, or these were not computed, or they were not there. So what is observed is intermediately or 4 steps apart they had the results. So if we can pass on the result, so after reduction, so intermediately it has from x0 to x3. If I just pass on to it, so it has x4 x5 x0 x3 to x4 concatenated, or the say basically your previous sum and this summation is basically x0 to x5, or it is accomplishing that particular element of vertical addition as such. So that has to be accomplished. You move on to the mid element to the pass on to the next element and next iterations. So all the previous wherever it was lagging are to be passed on. So this reverse tree scan. So first was balance tree for the reduction, then the reverse tree scan of the post scan step is basically you are passing the intermediate results, so that those elements which were not having the previous summations are able to get them. So until here, whenever you are looking into this reduction approach, so 8, 4, 2, 1, this is your reduction tree. So until the half. Next half is you have computations x0 and mid elements somewhere x7 and x15. These are ready. So they are done with respect. What are not having is x14, x13 are not having, but they require the results of x7, and it's better to pass on the results in the iterations or the strides whenever you are passing on. So this is a x7 result until the partial sum. This is passed on to the maximum number of elements. Other than that, whenever you look into this, this is passed on to the maximum number of elements. The next iterations it is 3 and all previous elements, so that now after 1, 2, or 3 strides or 3 iterations with respect to this, so if I assume that I am passing all this, so you are ready with the results. So the final what is that prefix summation is done. Okay, that was with respect to last slide, and we come to the next chapter. So this was somewhere I tried to glance through. Now we go in detail. So slightly better parallel inclusive scan. What we are doing is, so initially add all numbers or neighbors. So first iteration, and hence it is inclusive scan. So we are not adding zeros to the first element. So x0 is passed on to the y0 or xy, whatever the nomenclature you use it. Basically stride 1, you are passing the elements with neighbors summated. Okay, stride 1, stride 2, again you summate 2 neighbors apart. So now say 8 is added with the 3, 4 is added with 7, and so on. So stride 4, so he's missing one stride. Basically that's happening with respect to the initial stride is just passed on. So stride 4 of the 4 elements, whenever it is happened to be in powers of 2, that's 1, 2, 4, 8, and so on. So whenever you accomplish this after 4 strides, so you have a reduction element in the last, that is so 8th element or whatever the position it is, and remaining also having the prefix sums. So 3, so 3 plus 1 is 4, so 3 plus 1, so 4 plus 7 is 11, and so on. Whenever you accomplish, that is you have reduced, and as well as parallel scan has accomplished. Okay, what has happened during the scenarios? So n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 4, and totally n minus n by 2 odd scans, or again whenever we reducing this empirical formula and want to accomplish this, so it is n log n minus 1 computations that have happened over there. as you have stated, it's a computationally inefficient. We are using more number of adders compared to the sequential, but so again, resource allocation gets into the trouble if the block sizes and other stuffs are troubled. So there are not efficient or the more number of resources. Even if there are more number of resources, whenever you are computing this kind of computations over the mobile kind of devices, they are not energy efficient because you are iteratively doing the same stuff on the all the threads, and there is a more power consumption, and hence it is not suited in any case for that matter. Computational efficient is also considering the energy efficiency in that aspect. So what was the patterns? So balance trees, and with respect to balance trees, so we want to reduce it, reduction step, then post scan step. So intermediate summations, whatever produced can be utilized, so or pushed on to the forwarded to the further computations, so that that can ease the computations. Fine. So with respect to the 7 elements or the 8 elements, here showcase the mid elements. So whenever you are dividing, the mid element is normally say extremities. X0, X7 and mid element is what is summated. Whenever you even look into these numbers, so X0, X7 and X15, they are ready once reduction is done. Now what is required is intermediately again mid of this has to be passed, or the 7 under 4. So this is where it is passing, and again whenever you considering mid of this has to pass, so this is where it is happening. Again mid of this is okay. So you just have to recollect that stride element in terms of your code again. So stride divided by 2, stride divided into 2. What is happening so whenever you are scanning? So here it's multiplication and division that is has to be understood in the code as such. Okay. So x5 two times the block size stated stride 1 and block size and stride goes on increasing initially for the say ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಡ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, stride into 2, so sync threads, and finally what is to be there, he is just stating that these elements are ready and they can be passed on. So putting it together, shifting it to the right, that what matters. So whatever are ready, and whenever you want to move on to that strides or whatever the computations which are ready, they have to be passed on to the next elements. What is being done is, so you start dividing the stride because you have already in the stride 4, now 4 to 2, or 8 to 2, 8 to 4, 4 to 2, 2 to 1. That's how it has to be limited, of the number of neighbors have to be computed. That's what is being done. Index plus stride. So that is being computed, and ultimately you have to sync, because that iterations of these are to be in a single step. So 3 additions or 1 addition, so they are in iterative of the stride steps, so they have to be accomplished. Only then you can go to the next level. So what has happened with respect to this stuff is 2 raised to minus 1 4 minus 1 of so many additions, or n by 2 minus 1 operations in each n, or n minus 1 log n or on. Ultimately, we are not performing not more than 2 star n minus 1 adds. So with respect to sequential approach, you are producing somewhere n minus 1 additions. With respect to this efficient of these diagrams, whenever you just add on these numbers, so n2, 4, 12, 100, so whenever you add these numbers, so somewhere your computations of the additions or whatever the threads are not exceeding 2 into n minus 1 adds or additions. And hence we can claim that this is efficient than the earlier. Okay. Or I just want to showcase that the diagrams. Whenever you scale up, so again the numbers, so this is diagram, and the previous additions which are available that are showcased in this diagram or this table. So neighbor computations, and what are ready whenever you are computed, most often the odd numbers, say x07 and so on, are ready. So just read the paragraphs and you get to know it. So coding with respect to that is stated. I'm just explaining with respect to diagrams as such. Okay. What I wanted to showcase is 2 raised to n minus 1 of the at the maximum. So many computations can happen is whenever you compare these numbers. So with respect to that inefficient approach, whatever you tried over with respect to the prefix summations, so it was having somewhere 9 times more resources consumption or more threads were required, and whenever you look into this, so it is approximately very near or almost double of the sequential number of adders or additions whatever required are required for this particular kind of approaches. Okay. And hence it is stated as a work efficient what is it, prefix summation. So scan definition again, as we have stated, yeah, exclusive whenever you are stating with respect to 0, 3, 4, 5 and so on, right? Initially it was 25, now you have eliminated one element, and because you are adding 0 to the initial elements as such. Why exclusive? Most often, whenever you are computing something, the ends or extremities matter most. Where my array begins or where my array ends. Most often, if you remember your 8051 or any string processing algorithms for that matter, most often null character states that this is where my string ends. Or 8051 normally put as 00, so that and that's where I say that my string or the array ends as such. Similar to that, where it begins makes more prominence in some of the computations. Beginning address is more prominent, so where my array begins. So for that, zeroth is the stuff where you start scanning the array, and hence exclusive computation is also more prominent. So there were some deviations of the derivations that are suggested even in the earlier 9.2 or 9.3 sections of your chapter, stating that they can be utilized for exclusive scans. Not okay. So what we are doing is thread 0 allocates in xy0. So initially it was passed into the first element without any computations as such. Now the first element is by default it's 0. Other elements normally add up to the with respect to previous elements. So the previous elements is the current element. Okay. Minus 1 into the similar adaptation work has to be stated. There are other articles how it can be computed that are showcased in Harris and one more algorithms that is stated. But what I found was this slide is more accurate and explains it more appropriately compared to the other slides. I can just showcase that, but this is more reasonable. So what is done is you have a computations. So in place computations that are replaced whenever you are done. Say so last element you replace it by 0. Now it is mid of the array, that is 0 is replaced, and mid of the element whatever the computations x0 to x3 has computed. Now that is added the last element. So because you have made it 0, x0 to x3 it's where it ends. So next iteration now. So you are adding 4 elements apart. Now take elements, 2 elements starting from the last element says. So this is passed on entities and this is added because this is the last operations of the reduction. Final element, the last element has to appear over here. Okay, so this is passed on as it is to the one element apart. So this is mid element, or you, how do you name it? This is basically 1 2. So not immediate element, the one element apart, if I say that. So this is passed on to this, and x45 is anyway computed, and now you have that x0 to x3, and which you are able to add that particular, produce that in phase of the in place computation. So 2 places apart that are shifted. So then 2 additions over here, 1 addition, 2 additions, 4 additions. So what is happening? Just showcase that. So an example, what is happening, that was algorithmic view whenever you are representing that x0, x1. Now you have taken, or he has taken one representation. So this is the array which has to be reduced using the exclusive scan format. So whenever she states that first iteration are all on immediate numbers. So then say 1 element apart, 2 elements apart, 4 elements apart. So that is basically your reduction step. Next is your what is it, post scan method. So whenever you are just entering the post scan method, what is happening is you just have to make that last element 0. 25 was the last element and you are making that last element 0, and from here the post scan elements or the partial elements starts. So pass on as it is. So it is shifted, 0 is coming over here. So mid element stride or the half of this. So if it is 8, fourth element is coming, or 0 last element, and this element is added and the result is 11. This is first stride. So second stride, now the number of additions are to be doubled, so that instead of 4 elements apart, you start from the last. So reduction element, whatever you are considering, that is passed one element apart, and one element apart, whatever was there, that is being added to produce the final reduction. Okay, iteration 2. This is same thing is happening with respect to the mid element or this boundary as well. Okay, this is one boundary and the other boundary. Now we have in between illinda matte one more boundary, so 4 elements or 4 additions are happening. So whenever you are accomplishing this, this is the final scan that is obtained, say stride 4. So just observe that stride numbers, it is not stride 1 we are stating that. So stride 4, stride 2, stride 1, so with respect to which the code has to match. So it's from the textbook author, the same slides, and hence it's more correct as such. So stride 4, stride 2 and stride 1, whenever you accomplish this, so after reduction algorithm, this is what you are obtaining. Okay, so it is work efficient compared to the previous algorithm message. So number of elements are 2 raised to n minus 1. That's maximum 2 times of the at the maximum 2 times of additions of threads are required compared to the sequential addition for that matter. That's hence it is more efficient algorithm. So block dimensions, 2 times the block and build a scan kernel hands up to 2 times block dimension of elements because of the number of elements. Adders will be normally half of that. So the threads under consideration will be half of that. That's why we have stated already. Yes, run parallel scan some array, reduce it, then go for a reverse scan. So that is what is happening. And this problem statement is, if I say that the number of given elements of the input array is not able to fit in a single block size as such. So then what is happening is you compute with respect to blocks. So then addition, so you are, whenever you are computing this, add the summation of the previous block, because until this the summation is available all to this particular block. Now whenever you are computing this, summation or whatever is available in this last element, add to all elements of this block, and hence you are able to complete across blocks. Okay, so scan within a block, so threads can share that variable whenever you are going across. So what you are carrying from one block to next block is the summation of that particular block, or the last reduced element of that particular block is passed on to the next block as such. So if you want to show that, I just want to have the textbook for that matter. So this is the approach, and example wise. Okay, so this is the input array, and if I considering say 4 across a block, this is what I want to compute. So whenever you are considering that, this is simple reduction whatever you have accomplished till now first, or it is inclusive scan anta ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ. So 2 is passed on as it is, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 1 is say 3 plus 3 is 6, so 6 plus 1 is 7. So that is straightforward. And this particular block similarly, whenever you are accomplishing, that is stated over here. Fine. So 0 plus 4, 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7. So you have accomplished the summations with respect to individual blocks as such. But the final element, whenever you are accomplishing, so until here, because it's the first block, fine. But whenever you are computing a next block, what has happened is you start adding this 7 to all the elements. 7 plus 0 is 7, 7 plus 4 is 11, 7 plus 5 is 12, 7 plus 7 is 14. So invariably, whatever the summation that has obtained has to be immediately added to the next block. Similarly, this 14 has to be added to the next block. 20 has to be added to the next, and so on. So that whenever there is a large array or millions of computations you have to accomplish. So he has given one example with respect to the statements. Just don't have to deal with the numbers as such. The conceptually thing is, you divide with respect to whatever the CUDA device, get CUDA device properties, and how many threads you can spawn across a particular direction. So X direction, if you are considering, see how many threads you can spawn across that particular directions. After that gets exhausted, so then what is the option left out for you is next go for the next block. So ultimately, whenever you are saying that I'm storing that elements, how many elements you can make is basically 2 times block size or the section size. Whenever you are saying that, um, shared memory is shared across threads. So whenever you are computing that, elements should be, or in place computation, you have to be update that, and then they have to be in the shared memory. Okay. So block is with respect to global memory, or it has to be fetched from the global memory kind of structures. But what has to be put in a shared memory and how much memory is available for you for the computations. So you look into that aspects and then fix up the block size and then compute. So that finishes your prefix computations, and there are certain examples. You can just look into those examples. Any other doubts, you are free to post them into the sections, say your classroom. Okay, so I think I will close my class for today with this. Any doubts? So whenever you're reading, first read the diagrams. Immediately after that, there is a code. So try to interpret the code with respect to the diagram, and if possible, in certain aspects there is no numbers given for the computations. You consider that 16 element array or 8 element array, whatever he has given, and just make that computations hand computations ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you will gain the confidence while writing the course, because whenever I am stating that stride divide by 2, stride modulus operator, and divide by 2 and multiply by 2. So basically what you are fetching and how you are controlling the number of threads that has to be spawned for the particular computations, or the for loop iterations has to be done is happening with respect to that. Okay. What we are neglecting aspect is, so there is a convergence, we say that. So whenever you're making decisions with respect to your for loops and other loops, invariably that may happen, or that may troublesome, but even that is not so much pronounced in the explanations as such. For more details, as I stated, whatever I have covered till date, maybe 26 and 27 are the lectures from your WenMe. You can just have that. Even after that, you have ambiguity, we are free to discuss. Say 4.6 and so 4.5, 4.6, and this is what we have discussed till now. Parallel
Hi
patterns,
everyone, welcome back to the heterogeneous.
So that's all from my side, and you are free now. Okay.